In Paper Mario Sticker Star, you basically always want to be getting excellent attacks anyways. But what if that was the only thing you're allowed to get? Well, in this playthrough, I attempted to see if it is possible to beat Paper Mario Sticker Star with only excellent attacks. The rules are simple. I have to get a flawless attack anytime I use a battle sticker. So, for example, most of the time it will be an excellent, but some stickers like spiky helmets, obviously you will always get a nice. So I just have to get a flawless attack every time I use a battle sticker. And if I mess up, then I'm not going to have to use any sticker from that sticker line. Freeing the Toads requires no attacks, but to leave Detzelberg, we do have to get into our first mandatory fight. And for this fight, I only use the jumps because I'm too paranoid to use the hammers because I suck at the hammer timings, especially on emulator. So we kill the Goombas using jump stickers, and we are able to move on to Warm Fuzzy Plains. In Warm Fuzzy Plains, I actually managed to get an excellent with the scissors, which is probably the first time that's ever happened to me, meaning that I don't have to get any other scissors, or being realistically, I would probably have to restart the run, but other than that, I do manage to beat Bowser Jr. getting an excellent, because I'm flexing obviously, and I do delete my bat hammers, mainly because bat hammers are one of the stickers that I actually do need to beat the game. So I delete my bat hammers so I'm not tempted into using them later so I don't soft lock myself. And then I go to Leaf Litter Path so I can pick up a few iron jumps, so then I'm able to beat the Cone Goomba mini boss fight, letting us move on to Bouquet Gardens. I do a wee bit of side questing so I can unlock some hidden dialogue options, and then in Bouquet Gardens, I ignore the Toad for getting extorted for money because frankly, I just don't want to risk my attack, so instead of being a good Samaritan, I go fight the 5 Goombas, and well, I win by spamming a bunch of jumps because again, I am not risking shit in this challenge. And a similar story goes for in Water's Edgeway, where we kill Kamek pretty easily without losing a single sticker, meaning we can move on to Watmino Mountain, which has no enemies we need to fight. So in Goomba Fortress, I get the trumpet and leave because I don't like doing World 1 first because I'm so quirky, am I right guys?
God, that was so fucking cringe.
Now going into World 2, I open the door up, I go through the hallway, then we explore into the desert. I sink down, get the tablet please, and beat the level because I do not have any enemies to fight here. But I do also grab the HP plus in this stage because this challenge made me really paranoid for no reason. So I was grabbing more HP ups than I would usually get because I was paranoid for some reason. No, this is mostly for attacking. I don't know why I was paranoid. In Yoshi Sphinx, we make our way through the level like usual until we get up to the first mini boss of this stage, the Shell Shock 1 Koopas, which we are able to easily defeat with a little bit of Poison Mushroom hacks and iron jumps. We get the light bulb, we make our way throughout the head of the Yoshi Sphinx until we get to Kamek, one of the scariest fights in this playthrough, for one reason, the flip-flops. Kamek in Paper Mario Sticker Star, for those who don't know, changes all your stickers into flip-flops. And because flip-flops are their own sticker, that means if I mess up one time with the flip-flops, I will be unable to beat Paper Mario Sticker Star, second last boss fight of this game, because he turns your stickers into flip-flops again. So that means if I mess up one time with the flip-flops, I will soft lock myself and will have to restart this challenge. But luckily here, I was able to beat up Kamek with the flip-flops and beat Yoshi Sphinx. But now, we're gonna leave World 2. Why? Because this is an open world game, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. So, we acquire the trumpet, we go to Leaf Litter Path, we see Wiggler go into a free candy van, and then we make our way through the level until I fight the first mandatory mini-boss of this world, being the Hammer Bros. Which, for this mini-boss, I just use a fire flower and 2 shiny jumps to kill them, and because like I said earlier, I am allowed to use the fire flower because even though I didn't get excellence, it's feasibly impossible. So yeah, it was a flawless attack before anyone comments anything. Actually, please do comment for the engagement and actually subscribe while you're at it so we can get up to 1,000 subscribers. Shameless plug, I know. But hey, listen, I drink fucking G Fuel 1k before August, so yeah. Bafflewood is easy because it's just a maze where you don't have to fight anything. So is the Wiggler Treehouse because it's just Wiggler's head. Strike Lake has no fight, so now we're gonna go to Loopy Loop River, where we fight the Wiggler segment, and this is a wee bit tough per se, mostly because he dodges. But for this challenge, I won't be counting misses as me failing an attack, because I'm not the one who failed the attack. It's the game who prevented me from attacking. So just like if I get blinded by Gooper Blooper and I go to attack, I wouldn't count that as a miss because I never got to attack, because I didn't attack. So yeah, we beat up the Wiggler piece without losing a sticker, and now we're able to move on. Well, I mean, we're gonna get the fishing hook firstly in Outlook Point. Now, onto the big cheap fight, which was pretty easy. I used the hop slippers, and then the fishing hook. And because the fishing hook doesn't have any of that nice, great, excellent BS, I don't even think I could count this sticker. And even then, even if I did have to count it because I didn't get a flawless attack or whatever, that doesn't exist for this sticker, I only need to use it once, and so I already used it, and therefore, I never need to use it again. So we beat up the big cheap, and now we're able to move on to World 4 or World 5. Now in World 5, I go do Shy Guy Jungle, and whilst doing Shy Guy Jungle, I did have a close encounter. I got the 3 HP one time, but overall, killing the Shy Guys necessary was simple, with me just using some rudimentary attacks to take care of them. And Jungle Rapids was also easy because there wasn't an enemy to fight. But then I go do the Garden Toad questline, so I'm able to go do Scuttlebug Burrow, which was pretty easy. Even the necessary fight of the big Scuttlebug was pretty easy, so I was able to stall out until I was able to finally kill the big Scuttlebug. We get Kirsty, we get the Wiggler segment, and we're able to move on. In Tree Branch Trail, I was lucky enough to be able to crumple the Wiggler segment, so I was able to kill him pretty easily with a jump sticker. And then we go to Gauntlet Pod, we beat that, we then go to Hit It or Sniff It, and whilst I did have to fight one Sniff It, it was still overall pretty easy, and I was able to get the Wiggler segment and also get the Radiator. Both Long Falls and Snow Rise don't have any enemies for me to find them, so we're gonna move on to Chain Chomp Ruins, where we're able to do the Chain Chomp fight because we don't need to risk using a Bat Hammer yet. So we take its peg down and we will kill it. Well, do we kill it or does it just run away? I say we kill it just because it's thematic for this channel to say we murder stuff. You know, genocide runs. Another self-plug. Holy shit, I can't be stopped. But there was something I failed to mention a second ago, and that was in Snow Rise. For a demonstration of why I don't want to use hammers, I used the Burn Hammer and we got a great, which for not being excellent, meaning that we lost our first sticker. And so when we go to Bafflewood so we can get the Wiggler segment, we put our first sticker in the sticker graveyard, the Burn Hammer. F's in chat. Both Ice Flow and Rugged Road have no enemies, which means that we're able to cleanly move on by to Enigma Mansion, which for the booze, I did mostly just use my jump stickers, except for the stack of booze, which I did use the poison mushrooms, so I'm able to kill them easier. And basically the same strategy for the rest of the booze, so now we're gonna move on to the Big Boo. But before we go fight the Big Boo, I just want to share this cool place I found you can stand on. If you jump at a pretty specific time, and you're able to stand on the railing in the basement. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I just want to share that because it's a pretty cool thing, okay? But now in the Big Boo boss fight, it was kind of annoying because for some reason I was struggling to get the triple of anything, but eventually I was able to get the triple lightning bolts, and then I used the Boo and 2 clone jumps to send the Boos back to hell, which means that we bet Enigma Mansion. Skipping ahead to White Cat Beach because of what interest happens, we fight the Wiggler segment again, and we don't lose any stickers, so thankfully we just go chase him down to Surfshine Harbor, we get him back, and we finally put Wiggler back together. But before I do anything, I also complete the Wiggler book. Because, I don't know, I just think it's a nice thing to complete. And then, I go fight Snow Bowser. Which was a pretty easy fight, because I just spammed 5,000, so there's not much strategy here than just a regular weakness abusing playthrough of Snow Bowser. After Snow Bowser, I go decide to do Rumble Volcano. And here we get to the level that I was saving the Hammer for. Why? Well, because on the second top floor, there is a chain chomp that you need to put to sleep. And if I didn't have the Hammer, well, I just wouldn't be able to put him asleep. But I do think there is a thing that could put him to sleep. Like, I think I could have used a pillow, but either way, we used the Hammer. Unfortunately, we don't get an excellent, meaning that we're gonna have to add another sticker to the sticker graveyard. But other than that, we get to PD Piranha, and I go in with the usual strategy to beat PD Piranha. You abuse the crumple mechanic. Because in PD's boss fight, you have to wait for him to spin so you can get on his back. So then you can jump on him to deal extra damage. But if you crumple him, well then, that counts as 2 stuns for him, meaning that he will stay on the floor. Because the first time you attack him, he will go on his back with the POW block. But if you crumple him, it stuns him, preventing him from getting back up. Meaning that on your next turn, you're able to attack him and deal the extra damage because he'll still be on his back. And that's the strategy we use, even though I had terrible luck with the POW blocks. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know if Nintendo just updated this game out of the blue and made the crumple mechanic less effective, but I was just having hard times trying to crumple this flowery asshole. But eventually, we were able to free Kirsty and kill PD Piranha. After PD Piranha, because this was streamed, I then had a discussion about femboys on the stream. Don't ask how we got to this place, but oh look, it's Gooper Blooper now. For the Gooper Blooper fight, the first thing I did was secure myself a POW block in the Battle Spinner, which did take a little bit of time because I was having a major skill issue. But after getting it, I then employed the tried and true strategy in this game. Spamming POW blocks and using boots to power my damage with clone jumps, which made this fight go by pretty easily. I only got hit once in this fight because he was constantly crumpled, so I don't think Nintendo updated this game. But other than that, after spamming a bunch of clone jumps and POW blocks, I was eventually able to beat up Gooper Blooper because it wasn't too difficult, because I'm just that good at this game. I should probably find a different hobby. Skipping Sand Shifter and Damp Oasis for the No Force fight, we get on to Tower Power Pokey, which, I mean, was a pretty easy fight because we went with the same strategy. But I do want to talk about a funny thing, and that is if you deal enough damage to Tower Power very quickly. Because he has to eventually rise up, if you just deal enough damage to him fast, then his segments will just fall after any time you attack him, because usually he loses a segment after 50 HP. But if you prevent him from rising via like crumples, then he will never rise. And so, when you get him to lower HPs, like in the footage, then he'll rise and immediately fall after getting hit, which is very funny in my opinion. But we get the Royal Sticker, and do I even need to talk about Mega Sparkle Goomba? Like, he's the first boss and I'm doing him last with Mega Flashy Clone Jump, Boots, POW Block. He didn't stand a chance, okay? He died in like a few seconds, okay? Then Bowser Jr. jumps her ass, but he lasts like 3 seconds after we just stomp him to death. So, now we go get Wiggler, we fly up to Bowser Jr.'s airship, and then we go fight Bowser Jr., which unfortunately has us losing another sticker, being the tail, meaning that another sticker has to join the sticker graveyard. But fortunately, we are able to kill Bowser Jr. even though we lost the sticker. But now, with everything said and done, we can go fight. Well, we first have to deal with Kamek. So, Fortunately, after spending like, I don't know, 5 minutes or something, trying to get Tree on the battle spinner, I was finally able to do it and kill Kamek, and I didn't mess up a single flip-flop, meaning that we don't fail the challenge at the end. But now, we can fight Final Bowser. And for this Final Bowser, I used the exact same strat I used for basically every single other boss fight in this game. So, yeah, no shocker. The first phase was pretty annoying, mostly due to the fact that the Hammer Bros just didn't want to die from the boomerang. Or should I say the Fire Bros, because they, I don't know, they just were able to survive it. So, that was annoying. In phase 2, we have to say goodbye to another sticker, the E-Cammer. F's in chat, boys. But we already killed the Thwomp, and then beat Bowser up again, allowing us to progress to phase 3. Now here, I did actually get pretty close to death, and so I was forced to use the 1-up shroom. But yeah, we were able to beat up Bowser a few minutes later. And then, I wasn't able to use the tail because, as you saw, we lost it. I had to beat Bowser a way I don't think I've ever done before. I've always used the tail, and I'm guessing everyone else also used the tail. So, yeah, for like the first time in me playing this game, I had to beat up Bowser on the last phase of the first part of the fight. The last phase of the first phase of the last boss. That is really confusing. But, yeah, after beating him up with clone jumps, we were finally able to get on to the final phase. We wail on Bowser for a little bit, then Kirsty sacrifices herself, and we basically nearly one-shot Bowser, but we do mess up with the clone jump, and we don't get a flawless attack, meaning that we do have to add, at the very end of the game, another sticker to the sticker graveyard. And yes, I know, before anyone comments, I did end up using the other clone jump because it was the middle clone jump that I messed up with. So I did, well, have to use them because I can't just cancel an attack mid-attack. So yeah, I did kind of have to use the other clone jumps. But either way, I did have enough stickers in my inventory that even if I didn't use the clone jumps there, then like if I was able to cancel the attack, I did have enough stickers that I would have been able to curb stomp Bowser either way. So, now in the end, we lost 5 stickers. Burn Hammer, Bat Hammer, Tail, E-Cammer, and Clone Jump. Those were the 5 stickers we lost in this playthrough. Although we probably would have lost more if I used hammers more, but that's besides the point. But it is possible to beat Paper Mario Sticker Star in a Nuzlocke type setting. But that's about it for this video. If you like what you saw, like and subscribe, and if not, tell me why in the comments, and I'll see y'all later.